Hi, ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Marcus here again. Look, would you believe that 50% of the male population in America, in this country, are dissatisfied with their lives? I mean, dissatisfied. That doesn't mean that 50% is satisfied. It means that some of that 50% is, but none of this other 50% is satisfied with their lives. That's just the men. When it comes down to women, three-fourths of the women's population is dissatisfied with their life. And yet we keep getting promises that it's going to get better, but it never really does. This is a political season that's coming up. People will be running to be a senator or a representative, all about politics, thinking that you, the people, have not recognized that the whole game is like tough cop, good cop. It is amazing that we have some people that have the ability to do anything they want in life. They are the ones who have shaped and formed the system in which we live under. And it has worked for them at the expense of the rest of the people of the population. But the attitude and the truth of it is that they are responding to what they have been taught, and others are responding to what they have been taught. And it's begging for a vision. And people do not very often get a vision. And when they do get a vision, the vision has been so deduced to nothing by the system that people are afraid to even grab it by the tail. You see, this political season, there will be those that will come to you and promise you that they can do everything that they know where you're suffering at. So everybody knows that you're suffering. Everybody knows where your lack is. So they come as a politician, tell you they're going to take care of it. So it really boils down to who you believe or who has been doing something in the past to make you think that they might continue. All of that you have to deal with. But I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, since you've been old enough to pay attention to politics, since you've been old enough to vote, how many people have come to you with not just a talking point that you need education, unlimited, unrestricted? How many have come to you and promised that they would guarantee this for you? And not just after they get in office, but they promise you this now and are willing to show and share with you a proposal and let you know what role you have to play if you have to play in the role. Confident that what they do or what they propose will work. You ever had a politician come to you and talk to you like that? What about healthcare? You know, healthcare is very important. Very, 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 very important. Anybody ever come to you and says, we can give you healthcare? And I'm not talking about some of the things that you heard. I'm talking about really. They say they want healthcare for everybody. Free healthcare. And education free. Have anybody ever come to you and shared something like that with you? If they had, what do you think you would have done? What do you think your response would be to a statement like that? And not only just a statement, but offering a proposal to share with the people who that they're looking to benefit you, to give you a blessing, and they're willing to show you what they got, willing to show you what they're coming up with, willing to show you the role you play. They're willing to show you the steps that has got to be made and have you walk along the way. How many politicians have come to you and said they had that kind of confidence and asked you for your vote? Have you ever seen a politician do that? How many politicians have come to you and promised to you that you would have guaranteed the ability to engage yourself in this life, not to just be a leech, but to be a provider by recognizing a career that meets your needs, that give you your greatest love. It's calling on you, and they're willing to engage themselves in that process. How many people have come to you and say, I know, and have a proposal to put everybody to work in a career or job that they love? How many politicians have come to you with a proposal that would show that that can be done? Any politician ever come to you that way? Well, the answer to that, ladies and gentlemen, is no. You don't even have to answer that. Every last one of you know that no politician has come to you with a proposal. They'll come to you saying what they can do, but they're not going to come to you with a proposal, not prior to. And why won't they do that? Because the system will not permit that. In order for them to be able to assure you and guarantee a career, a job of your choice that you love, to guarantee you education benefits, unlimited and unrestricted, for them to guarantee to you health care from the womb to the tomb, for them to be able to guarantee you housing as you desire, transportation of your choice. I mean, in order for you to be able to accomplish this, it definitely requires that you change the system. It requires that you change the system. So, this is why the people are still caught in this trap. This is why, when it is spoken to you about having your needs, your wants, and your desires met, that requires a little bit of change, you still stay with what you have. It doesn't mean that you are ignorant. It doesn't mean that you're stupid. Doesn't mean that you're dumb. It doesn't mean that you're a fool. But it does mean you must be scared as hell. And that's something that you have to deal with. That is something that you would have to deal with. I just wanted to take a moment, ladies and gentlemen, and say that you can have a whole different world, and you know it would require change. It would require you, the people. Now, what Donald Trump was promising America, let's think about if you had bought into that stuff. And he won't even tell you what he's doing because he doesn't even know what he's doing. But that's okay because that's what he is. That's how he was trained and brought up. The big problem is that the people, 70 some odd million people, voted for that. And those people that didn't vote for it, you're victims to live as a consequence of that because you did nothing. You went to the polls and vote, and that didn't matter. And you went on back, said business as usual, ready to accept 4 years or more of this bull. How can the spirit of truth stand up and allow something like that to happen? What you should have done, and if you had the right spirit, you would have stood up against that, keeping it exposed, just like you do in the Epstein file. If people can't have education, you stand up against it, showing that people are deserving of it and the benefits of it, and show the world and anybody that's interested how it's to be achieved. And not settling for anything less than that. Now, they can do what they want to you because you represent truth. And you will be backed up by the almighty universal power. Now, they still will go, they will kill you if our universal power will allow it to happen. And sometimes the universal power will allow it to happen just to free you from the hell because you've done a well job. And sometimes they'll just leave you around so you can keep on doing your thing. God gets the praise. Well, anyway, I want to thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen, for giving me these 10 minutes. And I'm going to leave it there. Yeah, I know I'll probably be back, but if I have to, I'll gladly be back. Until next time, Eddie Marcus saying goodbye for now.